Good Saturday morning. I'm KHOU Meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are under a weather impact alert day for today as we are expecting a cold front to make its way into southeast Texas. It could bring some downpours and some strong storms with it as we go through the rest of our day. That's going to be in place until at least 6 p.m. today. Any storm that does flare up here across our area does have the impact of having damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes. So as we look at the timeline at what we're expecting through the rest of our day, we're expecting that severe weather threat for the Houston area to increase between the hours of 12 p.m. and 3 p.m., eventually lasting until 4, but then we're going to see that threat diminish as we get closer towards the 6 o'clock hour as that front will continue pushing off across just offshore. So just keep in mind that today the Storm Prediction Center keeping the entire Houston area under a a slight risk for severe weather, an enhanced risk. That's a level 3 out of 5 for areas northeast of town. That includes Huntsville, Conroe, Liberty, Livingston. So if you are in the areas shaded in orange, this does include a large portion of Montgomery County. Any storm that flares up will have that potential to have more of those damaging winds and large hail threats. But looking right now at our radar, we're seeing just a lot of activity in place across Texas. We have some snow out in the Panhandle. That's all thanks to that cold front. There's some showers and storms that are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And as we take a closer look into what we're seeing here across Houston, we're seeing some showers and some downpours starting to move closer in towards the Katy area, moving in from the west. So we're going to continue to track those storms as we're not seeing any lightning right now, but as we warm up through the warmer parts of the day between the hours of 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, that's when we could start seeing those warmer temperatures fuel that storm activity. And that's when we could start seeing these storms pack a punch by at least the noon hour. So rain starting to move into southeast Texas as of now. We're not seeing any severe storms, but that will be not the case later on this afternoon. Even along 290, Prairie View, portions of Grimes County, seeing those downpours. So those showers are going to slowly start moving into the Houston area within the next maybe hour or so. So roadways will become wet. Just definitely be cautious out there if you are driving along our area roadways. So as we look at future track, we're going to start seeing these storms moving in around 12. Between 12 and 3 p.m. is when we could see some of those embedded thunderstorms northeast of the Houston area. That includes Liberty, Mont Belvieu, and those are the areas that will receive more of the higher threat for that large hail and damaging winds. And then as we get closer towards 6, 7 p.m., as that frontal boundary will be moving offshore, that's when we're expecting to see mostly everything kind of just start diminishing across our area. And then we're going to be in the clear as we get closer towards the midnight hour. We still could see some lingering showers and storms along the coast from Galveston to the Bolivar Peninsula, and we're going to see those temps start plummeting into the 50s and 40s heading into Sunday and into Monday. So as we look at the large hail threat, that's the thing that we're really going to have to keep an eye on for today. So areas that you see hatched right here in the Huntsville, portions of Walker County, Conroe, Liberty, Livingston, even portions of northern Harris County could have the possibility to seeing some large hail with those storms as they fuel up and become stronger as we get into those afternoon hours. Looking at the tornado threat, the more increased risk for tornadoes is going to be northeast of Livingston. However, there is a slight risk for us here that we could still see a tornado or two with any storm that does make it into the Houston area later this afternoon. So we're going to have to at least keep that in the back of our minds that we could still see that tornado threat for us here across the Houston area for today between hours of 12 and 3. So if you're asking, we have the University of Houston playing their game today in San Antonio. We have that watch party going on at Avenida Houston. The good news is that that front should already be pushing offshore over the Gulf. Temps are going to be in the 70s. Temps are going to start plummeting, so we're really not going to see that severe threat in place here across the Houston area as we head into later this evening, which is good news if you have any watch party to go to. And of course, you could always head over to the Avenida in downtown Houston to watch the game. But the good news is that we are expecting that to not really have that severe threat, as that front will be pushing off towards the coastal areas in the offshore Galveston. And just keep in mind that temperatures are going to be in the 50s and 40s as we head into Sunday afternoon. So it's going to be much cooler by Sunday and into Monday. And so you might even need your jackets heading out the door if you are heading across the area, heading into the morning hours of Monday and into Tuesday. So for your 7-day forecast, weather impact alert day for today, that does include all of Southeast Texas. Cooler conditions tomorrow. We're going to have a pleasant week, but today is going to be a bit interesting in terms of what we're expecting to see in terms of our severe weather threat. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of, if you're just now joining me, to kind of recover what I've just talked about. So as we look at the situation for today, weather impact alert, downpours and strong storms through 6 p.m. today is when we could see that storm threat. And we're already starting to see some showers and downpours starting to move into Southeast Texas. But just keep in mind that for the Houston area, we are expecting that severe risk to be elevated between the hours of 12 and 4 p.m. is when we could see some of those stronger storms. So if you have any travel plans, if you have any outdoor plans, might want to have those indoors, or maybe just stay home between the hours of 12 and 4. And then later this evening, we will see that threat diminish going into around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And any storm that does flare up will have the possibility to have more of those damaging winds, large hail threat. But the elevated risk will be areas just northeast of Houston, which includes Conroe, Liberty, Livingston, Huntsville. They're under an enhanced risk for severe weather. And so at least have 2 or more ways to receive those weather alerts. You can always stay up to date by downloading the KHOU 11 app, which we are providing you daily updates with that, as we are also providing this KHOU Plus live stream. So areas across Houston, from Houston to Ingleton, Bay City, Brenham, under a level 2 threat. That is a 2 out of 5. So we could start seeing those storms become a bit more scattered across our area later this afternoon. Daytime heating fuels storm activity, especially when you have an unstable atmosphere like we have right now. But that cold front already bringing some storms to portions of Dallas, Fort Worth, even central Texas. Nothing severe right now, but that's not going to be the case as these storms are going to continue pushing into the Houston area as we progress throughout the day for this afternoon. And so we could see those storms become a bit stronger. So if you are in Columbus, maybe Katy, or western areas west of Houston, you're going to start seeing that rain start quickly within the next maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And then once those showers are going to become more widespread, and eventually once the initial frontal boundary moves through, which is going to be around 12:30 through 1 o'clock, that's when we could start seeing some of the stronger storms making it into Harris County in the Houston area for this afternoon. And by 4 p.m., that front will already be out of the picture. We're going to have a mostly quiet evening. Still could see some lingering showers later on today, but definitely just keep in mind that stay prepared and have at least 2 or more ways to have those weather alerts for today between the hours of 12 and 3 as we progress throughout the day, because we are expecting that storm threat to be severe heading into this afternoon. Of course, you can get the latest updates on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with the KHOU 11.